So we are live. I'm actually going to be introducing a guy, great friend of mine, great human being, and an amazing team leader. And he's going to talk about his journey into joining Exp Realty. I want to introduce the legend, Chris Nevada. How are you, man?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Doing awesome, man. Listen, I think your story is incredible on how you got into real estate, how you built the #1 team in the state of Nevada, how you became the Nevada real estate team. And, I tell people this story. I've been telling you this story for years and years and years, and I feel like this is the first time I'm able to say it with you there. So, if you haven't never heard the story of what a guy's willing to do to make things happen, you need to hear the story. Chris, tell them the name. Tell them how you became the Nevada Real Estate Group.
Yeah, so I started in Alaska. That's where I started doing real estate at. Built a team there. And I kind of just 3 years ago kind of got tired of Alaska, the seasonality that it has. And I said, I'm moving to Reno. I'm going to start a team there. I had the team going for about a year. And in Nevada, you have a strange state, like the only state that I know of. There might be some others, but it says, hey, your team name needs to be your last name. And so I was like, well, that's crazy.
They're like, you can't be the Nevada real estate team because
nobody. I mean, that's anybody, right? Anybody in the state. Your last name has to be in your team name. So, like in Alaska, we're called the Alaska Real Estate Group. And so I was like sitting around. I was just like, man, this is messed up. And somebody, and I wish I remember who it was. I really do. But they're like, if you don't like it, change your last name.
Right.
And I went, well, that's interesting. So I went to GoDaddy, typed in NevadaRealEstateGroup.com, buy it for $11. Called Real Estate Commission, said, hey, so technically if my last name was this, it'd be good to go. They go, yep, you're good to go. I said, roger that. Changed my last name, $300, courthouse, good to go. So now it's
Chris Nevada. That's what it took, man. So like,
that's right.
They push you around. They're like, hey, I want to be in Nevada. And by the way, I think you found it on like GoDaddy for like $5, right? Nobody had it.
Yeah, it was like $11 because no one had it because once again, you have to have it in your last name. So no one ever bought the domain. So It was just like all the stars lining up, being perfect. And I was like, we got to do this. And so, Nevada Real Estate Group.
That's awesome. It was how long have you been in real estate, by the way?
How long? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 8 years.
8 years. So just 8 years. You became the #1 team. Tell me about your team dynamic. Tell me what made you want to start a real estate team and your experience with your previous broker.
Yeah, I wanted to start a team. I came into the business as a solo single agent, crushed it real hard with about 80. It was around 80 deals for the first year. And I basically said, hey, what's next? What do you do next? And someone was like, you built a team. I said, well, what's that? So, I had to break that down, figure that out. And basically, you build a team because I had too much business to handle. And so that's why I started the team. And then, I was in the Navy 16 years. I always loved leading people, helping people. So it came really natural for me. And then, it was just a progression of things. And when you give so much value to your team, it just attracts other people and the team just gets bigger and bigger.
So tell me about your numbers. Tell me about how many people you have on your team. What do you take pride in?
Yeah. Well, I take pride in my team, taking care of my team members. You take care of your team members, the team members take care of you. If they're successful, you're successful. So I take great pride in that. We have about 20 people on the team here in Reno. Numbers, we did like 365 transactions last year. About almost a combined total with all the teams, because I still have a team in Alaska. I have one in Vegas, so about 130 million total.
So you're going to get
our production
and a team in Reno. Like some people are probably listening to this, wanting to hear kind of like, how do you manage that? What's your special sauce? Do you use any tools and resources? Tell us a little about that.
Well, it comes down to your team leader. Well, from like Alaska, I have a team leader there. I spend time with him, coach him, and we try to make that go there. But when you have the systems and you have everything in place, it's a little bit easier than you think. But it still comes down to the right people, the talent, right, and finding that and putting those people in place.
Good stuff. Listen, I think the question that everybody would want to know, and I don't know if you know this, but one of my favorite sayings is curious people make more money, right? So I'm always curious, and I'm looking for like why people make decisions, right? So everything's going great. You're with KW, you're the number one team, not only in your brokerage, but in the state of Nevada. I'm just curious, and just stay with me here. I just been dying to do. I'm just curious, why would a guy like you move over to EXP?
Well, listen, I took a look at it about 2 years ago. I looked at the model. I was blown away by it. As actually something I said, it's too good to be true, right? And we mastermind together. We part of another group, and I met you maybe a year and a half ago, and you were telling me about your move. I was like, oh, that's interesting. It's just like you said, being curious, right? But it sounded too good to be true. Mm-hmm. And I was in Gary Keller's top 100. I've heard some of the stuff that was supposed to come out, some of the things that I was kind of waiting for, mm-hmm. and they just never came. And every time I looked around, EXP's adding more thing. Like they just added healthcare, right? Saved one of my team members $1,200 a month. She's gone down to $300 a month. Wow. Better healthcare. Mm-hmm. I mean, so for her, that was awesome to be able to help her and go, here you go.
So you run a team in multiple states.
Somebody here also here.
I was saying you're running a team in multiple states.
Yeah, go for it, Gil.
How did you find the advantage of EXP to help you with that? Was it the capping system?
Yeah. So one of the big things I always had. Yeah, I had a big hurdle being in Reno. We're right there on the California border. I have several team members that have California licenses. Well, with the previous brokerage, we would have to pay one big cap here in Nevada and then one other cap in California. And it made things super painful. But when you cross borders, it's one cap. That's what it is, for EXP. So that was a huge advantage. And you could just see the eyes light up in some of my team members. They were just like, that's huge, right? Because they were looking at paying an additional $30,000, $40,000. It was too much money to reasonably go after and do business in another state. And now it's just one cap. So that was a no-brainer.
I live in Central Florida, so I wouldn't even have thought of that. But I can imagine like people living in tri-state areas or their border towns from one state to another state, why that would be important to be in a brokerage that was forward thinking enough to have one cap no matter where you are in the U.S. So that's pretty cool. What just get a curiosity. Oh, yeah. How did your team respond to you making a decision or thinking about going into EXP?
Well, here's the deal. So I don't do anything by myself. It's a team decision, right? And so basically I sent out a couple of videos, 2 at a time. That's all I did. I said, out of all 20 guys and gals, I said, here, take a look at this. I said, poke holes in this. Tell me what I'm not seeing, right? I did it 2 at a time. Got their feedback. The next 2. I didn't want to overwhelm the team, a bunch of people. I wanted honest feedback on everything. And every single person, let's go and let's go now. And I was like, whoa, slow down. We're not going to move that fast, but let's just take a look at it a little deeper, right? Yeah, and 100% of my team moved over, so that was really cool.
Cool. If there was one thing, and there's 5 reasons why most people join EXP. It's either the leads, the training, the culture, the revenue share, the stock options. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why, but those are like the top 5 reasons why. What was the one thing that tended to attract you?
I would say, with a large team like mine, right? We're a little bit different than the normal probably agent, right? So they already had the training. They had a lot of the leads. They had all that stuff. The biggest thing that, talking with my team was we always talk about what's your exit strategy, right? How are you going to get out of real estate? What does that look like? Is it self-sustaining? And so that revenue share and the stocks, that was a pretty huge one for most people on my team where their eyes kind of lit up because, love KW. I have nothing bad to say about them, but they're profit share, right? So it all depends on how profitable that office is. I'm looking back in the last 3 months I pulled up. and I had a lot of people underneath me. I got like $20, $50. It wasn't a whole lot, right? But when you start talking revenue share, it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm. It's a good point. I always thought, and I worked for a lot of different companies. KW wasn't one of them. I looked at their model and thought to myself, every time somebody joins, they're another expense, and that lowers my profitability. It's like the bigger you grow, the less profit sometimes there is. So sometimes it's counterproductive. If you do training, I'd be looking around everybody and say, hey, stop drinking that coffee. You're eating up my profit. But with revenue share, I don't have to worry about that. Like everybody's contributing to the greater cause. And I think that, one of the things that most people don't really get, especially for somebody like you who's a team leader or even a broker, right? You had things already in place. So I'm curious, though, really, really curious, that it must have been difficult to make that shift, because there had to be things that said, you know what? Man, I'm stuck in this spot here. I don't want to make this move. How'd you get past that part?
I mean, that just goes back to having, a little bit of vision, right? Taking a look at the EXP, taking a look at their model, going, okay, what does that look like 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, 20 years down the road? What does that look like? And how could you change people's lives? When I say people's, my team, right? I'm looking at it going, I want them all to have a great exit strategy, enjoy real estate while you're doing it, but have some type of exit strategy so when you're done, you have still income coming in and you can enjoy your life.
Good
so
stuff.
I mean, when you take a look at that, it's really a game changer. Just asking that question, what is your exit strategy? Not everybody has one in real estate. I mean, I hate to say it, there's a lot of people, a little older people in real estate, and they keep going and going and going, and so, and I've had more conversations. Hell, in this last 10 days, we've already had like 10 people join EXP, right? And I will tell you, that's pretty much the one that kind of gets the light bulbs going in the heads is when we start talking, what is your exit strategy and what is your brokerage doing for you, right? My previous brokerage, I would cap out. They'd give me a social media post. That's cool, I guess, right? Here at EXP, we're getting stock, right? They're giving us stock back, $16,000 worth of stock.
Yep.
That's long term.
Yeah,
and stock price is doing pretty good too.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's complaining about the stock growth. I think as the real estate industry progresses, I think Wall Street, the average investor in the market, is looking at us as a stock and saying, we believe that you're the future. It's not. I mean, it's one thing for agents to choose EXP, right? I mean, we're seeing tremendous amount of growth. I've only been with EXP now for just under a year. When I was joining EXP, there was 15,000, 16,000 agents. And we're at 31, 32,000 agents already. So we've doubled in the last year, and I can see us continuing to grow that way. As the years go through, we see more and more big leaders like yourself who have a vision of what the future is, and they're saying, you know what? I'm not looking for just me to win. I want everyone around me to win, right? And as you tell that story to someone else, it's like, wouldn't you want to be able, if you're going to sell real estate anyway, right? If you're going to help sellers sell and buyers buy, wouldn't you want a piece of the action, right? So in the old model, it was you had the corporates and you had regional owners and franchisees and recruiters and sales managers, and we got rid of all of those, and we put the power in the agent so we can improve the consumer experience and also give them, a way to retire if that's what they're looking for. So I think it's an easy sell,
No, exactly. That's exactly. I mean, when you mention that to someone that's in real estate, it's almost like, no, they're like, that's too good to be true, right? They're like, you guys can't do that. I'm like, no, we do that, right? Sit down, let's talk about it, right? So, yeah, I can tell you, there's a couple of people that just recently joined here where I'm at, and that was a big thing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, and you're an early adopter in your market in the state of Nevada. EXP is just kind of just starting in that market there. I mean, I'm almost kind of a little bit jelly about the opportunity you have in there to help agents find prosperity, to find financial freedom, to find an opportunity to have healthcare, to have solutions, leads, and training and coaching development. From a brand new agent coming in who can go through the fast track system, from fast track 101 to 112 through the EXP virtual world. We're like a COVID-free environment. You can be in a virtual world, Verbella, which, by the way, as agents we own, which is pretty awesome. When the
Right.
company gets released with that,
Yep.
that revenue comes back to the company and it comes back to us as owners in the form of stock and extra tools and resources. It's nice to know that there's something there for everyone to grow. And this company was built with the long term in mind. It wasn't about this transactional, like as a broker, it's like, hey, come on in, tell me who your mom, dad, brother, sister, neighbor is. We'll figure out what transactions are. No, let's come in and let's talk about becoming a real estate entrepreneur. Let's create multiple streams of income for you. Let's teach you how to invest. Let's teach you how to create, multiple streams of income. And when I looked at it too, I was like, I actually told my business partner, I said, hey, if this is even half true, we got to take a look at this for our agents.
Right.
Because I thought
and you mentioned something really great. You mentioned something great though, Gil, like multiple streams of income. And I would say that, in our mastermind groups we're part of, we always are talking about that conversation of multiple streams of income, but now I get to have that conversation now with my team members, and now I get to make it possible for them. So yeah, definitely multiple streams of income will definitely change your life too.
So I do have a couple more questions. I specifically want to make sure that I ask you before we go. Is as a team leader, like you did that in a very fast period, right? In an 8-year period, you became a team leader and the top team leader. I talk to agents throughout the country all the time who aspire to be a team leader, to have a team. What advice would you give them for those agents who are looking to get started in the team world?
Yeah, my advice, and this is going to probably hurt some people maybe listening, but I think a lot of people start teams when they shouldn't start teams, right? I think starting a team is when you have too much business. That is why you should start a team. That's just me. That's what I believe in. I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to leverage other people. I'm going to do some, crazy stuff. I'm like, well, it's not going to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a lot of people doing it that way. You do it because you've already been successful on your own, right? You have the credibility so that when you are coaching and training and helping those team members out, you have something standing behind you. Mm-hmm. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm just going to start a team just because it sounds cool, right?
Yeah, I often say you have a responsibility to make sure that people grow around you, and you need to have the experience, the tools, and you can learn those things through being a team environment, right? That's one of the ways you can do that is emulate and copy. But you do need to have something of value, right? So you and I have very similar models, right? You have a leads team. Can you talk about your leads team model as far as like, what do you provide the teams and what tools and resources you use?
Yeah, I mean, so I provide them with pretty much unlimited amount of leads. They have a ton. We use a pond method system, and it's basically go fishing and let's go. We get a lot of leads in every single day, and the team just goes to town on them. We just had a huge month. So far, the last 2 months have been record-setting months for us. So, and then going back to what you were talking about a little bit ago, it's just giving extreme value to your team members, right? And that's how we were able to grow so fast. The other reason is it's not like I just showed up and built a team in Reno, right? I already had 5 years prior experience in Alaska building a team. There's a lot of lesson learned that you go through when you start building a team. We know many people have to tear down their team sometimes and start all over. So coming to Reno, I had 5 years of lesson learned. And it was kind of like, this is how I'm going to build it. I'm going to build it the right way and not make any mistakes, take all those lesson learned and just put them forward. And that's why we were able to grow such a fast team, get great talent. And it still comes down to talent, right? For your people. You can't grow fast or do good things without talent. And I'm really, really blessed and lucky to have such talented people on my team. And that talent attracts other talent, and everybody wants to be part of it. And we have a great team culture. So all that, led to us, 2 years to get $100 million team, right? And then the third year was able to take the number one spot. And we have bigger goals this year too. Awesome. And COVID's not slowing us down. COVID's not going to slow us down.
So I'm just curious. I love that. I'm never going to let that go. That's sticking. That's going to stick. I'm curious.
You got it.
Have you ever thought about any other markets? Like, do you think you're going to expand into different cities or states?
Yeah, I'm always thinking about it. They need, because I've done it, there's a lot of different things I'm looking at to make it go again. But sometimes I think with EXP, I'd rather just partner with someone, right? I'd rather just partner with someone to help them. There's a lot of markets that I'm looking at right now where EXP is not so big yet. And I think there's great opportunity to get there and do that. But I like focusing on my team here in Reno. So
Mhm.
I personally won't be going anywhere.
Good.
But if there's an opportunity somewhere that makes sense, and like I said before, if you have a team leader that has talent, then I would probably, I'd weigh my options, but go ahead and jump in. There's certain numbers, certain things I'd be looking for though, for sure.
Cool. So there might be an opportunity for somebody who may be in Nevada that can partner with you, and maybe you can, help them move into a team leader role. Maybe we could do a little coaching session, do a training event for future team leaders. We're kind of talking off the cuff, but I would welcome that, and maybe get another couple of team leaders in your market to do that, or in a couple other markets. Because I think that a lot of people want to be and aspire to be an entrepreneur, but if they don't follow the principles, and I always quote the book of Jim Collins, Good to Great. It's about the people first, right? If you get the people first and you add value, and you've got your mission statement, you got your core values. What do you stand for? How what do you expect the consumer experience to be? And you create those standards. Then everything else comes second, right? Then you can figure out the what's, right? I think most people figure out, they get a credit card out and they're like, I'm going to go buy a bunch of Zillow leads. And they never converted a Zillow lead themselves, right? They have no idea like what has to happen for that to happen.
Right.
And they got a credit card, and that's dangerous in this game. Like, figure out your value proposition, and figure out how you want to best serve the consumer. But figure out what your game plan for your agents are. You're super connected to your agents. You're always talking about them, like saying that they're rock stars and they're awesome. And I can tell that, you put a lot of spirit and heart, and you do a lot of activities with them. Tell me about some of the fun things you do with your team.
Oh, well, we just do a ton of things. We always have contests going on. We always like to have that friendly competition, right? It's just friendly. Yeah. We do pool days. Like, we have a big casino here with a big pool. So it's always fun that we go take some pool days off, and we do a Cabo contest, right? So we all hopefully are going Cabo in October. So I like to take the team there, and we have a lot of fun. We just do a lot of really, really fun stuff together. So
to Cabo, the whole team?
To Cabo, yes. I set some goals. I set some things.
If any of my team is here, just disregard that statement. I don't have any plans on taking my team to Cabo. Chris is a rock star.
Well, Gil, I would like to say to your team members, though, I do have opportunity here in Nevada if they are looking to move and they're looking for some opportunity.
Okay, we'll trade out some talent. Dude. Hey, let me ask you a question. What would you say to somebody who is, listening to the whole EXP thing, but they're still kind of on the sidelines? They're thinking to themselves, man, that it really does sound too good to be true. It's like, all right, or maybe they're like me. Like, I don't get the hoopla. Like, I don't get it. Is this like a trend? Is the fad? What would you say to them?
I would say jump off the fence, because I looked at 2 years ago when they were EXP was like 5,000 agents, right? Wasn't very big. I sat around. I waited and waited, took more research. I was still building the team at the same time, you know what I mean? So, but I was still vested, looking and just going, oh boy, what should I do? And it's funny, the naysayers too. Well, if you like it that much, then just buy their stock, which I did. But
I bought the stock before I joined.
Still, yeah. So, if for those that are still wondering, just have the conversation, right? Just talk to somebody in EXP, sit down with them, and just start the conversation. Doesn't mean you got to be sold today or whatever. You know what I mean? Just start that conversation and see if it's a good fit. And if you're running a team at all, I don't care if it's 2 people, 3 or 4, think about the value that you can give your team members. That's all I always try to do, is give value to my team. And I was kind of like, this is it. I can give my team members now ownership, stock, and revenue share. I'm like, game over, right? Like, they're getting everything else that I was given on the team, but now it's 3 pieces that I wish I could give them, but on my own I can't. I don't have stock. It's hard to give that ownership piece, right? But now I give them everything. So I don't know. That's really huge, and I don't know. Do I wish I would have jumped 2 years ago? Yeah, I do. But the train's going fast, right? We're over 30,000 now, and it's only going to speed up even faster. So those that are looking at it, reach out. That's all I would say. Reach out,
You know,
talk, ask those questions.
collectively, I think the one regret I always hear from EXP agents, especially EXP agents who take advantage of all the tools and resources, is I didn't join sooner. I should have, you know, like I dragged my feet. Like it took me 6 months before I was like, you know what, I got to consider this. I really have to. I rejected it. I rejected it, and I was like, I actually went to an event, and you know, we got this event coming up, the 2020 Leadership Summit. I went to an event like that, and I walked around the room and just started asking people questions, and I was like, you know, people are way too happy about a real estate decision. Like this is like abnormal. This is too good to be true again. And you know, the adage, if it's too good to be true, it must be, right? But the truth of the matter is that you're seeing a lot of educated, educated, efficient team leaders, amazing brokers, strong single agents, new agents come into EXP. And you know what I found? It's like, and I never expected this to happen. You see people coming in, they're doubling their business, they're tripling their business, right? Because when you take away some of, you know, honestly, you know, I worked for a company and it was always, you know, the answer was always no, right? So what's the question? The answer is no, right? And now you're working with a company that's like, hey, listen, if there's a way for us to say yes, we're going to say yes, right? We're an agent-owned company, and we want to. If it's good for the agent, it should be good for us. Bring it to us. Like when you're in that environment, you just move faster. You don't have to worry about, oh man, like is the broker going to be okay with this, or am I going to have an issue with this? You know, they just want to see you grow, right? And you got to follow the rules for your state and stuff like that. But like when you have that kind of support, you just feel empowered, right? When you're an owner, you feel empowered. I always tell people, it's like, if you own the company, would you do things differently? Well, now you own the company. Go out there, do everything you got to do to make it the best thing ever, right? And you know, introduce it to other people, and let people, don't be a secret agent. Don't be that person that joins a great thing and then just doesn't tell anybody. Imagine that. You see a great movie, you tell everybody about the great movie. So it's an incredible opportunity, incredible time. Like the market right now, I think we also had our best month in the last 2 months here in Orlando too. I think we have a very similar market in Central Florida as you do have in Reno. So what else, man? I mean, you're a week into EXP. Like, what's going on in your head right now?
Nothing, man. Just moving fast, right? I just literally got back today from a trip to Knoxville, and I was in Destin, Florida. You know, just talking EXP up. I'm off to another town next week, teaching how to build teams next week. So just moving fast. That's all it is. No, but loving it. I haven't been this excited in a long time. Long time. So yeah. And, I'm fired up. My team members are like, man, you're here 7 o'clock every morning. What's going on? I said, I'm fired up. I'm excited again. You know, it's just the next phase, right?
Yeah. Excited about the future. Excited about, they say that the majority of, I think, I don't remember exactly the stat, but I'm going to screw this stat up. And so I'm not even going to call it that. So the majority of the business that's going to happen in the future is going to be happening from agents that aren't licensed yet, right? So, I want to let you know, if you're an agent or you're thinking about becoming an agent, EXP has a system for you to grow. It has the leaders around you and the mentorship around for you to grow your business. If you're a pseudo experienced agent, it's not uncommon for agents to come on here and double or triple their business as they start locking arms with people who are committed, who are owners with you. I mean, I've never been an owner with somebody else. I've only been a competitor, right? Like, even in my old office, I would try to help other people out, but I'm not giving you my secret sauce, right? I'm not giving you everything, right? Now, like, listen, if you've got the letters EXP after your name, hook me up. Go to GilRamos.com or GilRamos.work. Let's talk. I will give you my Dropbox of tools. Like, I mean, literally want everyone to leave, right? And that's such a different feeling. And I always think to myself, if we'd have been like this in the beginning, the consumer experience would have been incredible. And, there would never, ever be a talk about disruptors. But you know what? There's a new disruptor now. It's us, right? And, I got a chance to talk to some of the higher ups at EXP, and I asked them, what's our vision? What do you see us in 10 years? I was like, well, 800,000 agents, 80 countries, and our expansion is very aggressive right now. We're in a few countries right now. We'll probably be in several more in the very near future. So I'm excited what that looks like. It's good to see you smiling about real estate again, and being on camera. Thank you for being on today's show. Just curious, anything else you'd like to share?
No, I mean, I think we talked a lot about it. But like you said there, I give away 99% of everything. I don't care if you're in Reno, here locally or not. I think just like where you're at, there's enough business for everyone that wants to go and get it, right? I give away 99. That 1%, I can't give it to you until you know my other 99%, right? That's, get that done, and I'll give it all away. I mean, there's no secrets in that. I think what you talked about with EXP and how you want to, everybody's an owner and you want to help everybody grow. And it's just going to help everybody in the long run. So yeah, very giving. Everybody is. So
I want to talk real fast before we go about one of the times you made a huge impression with me. And the thing is, I think that you're great for EXP, and I talk you up all the time. It's like we were at an event, and I was a speaker at the event and presenting, and it's one of those masterminds where we all get a chance to kind of like share what we're doing. And it was just my turn, I guess. But I'm sitting down and you're dropping like, "Hey, are you using this?" And you're bumping me. "Hey, have you tried using this?" And I'm like, "I've never even heard of these tools." And you're like, "Hey, you got to try this tool. Hey, by the way, here's this promo code so you can download this and get a discount on it. Oh man, you got to be doing this." And almost every time I talk to you, you're like, "Hey, have you tried this yet?" You got to get on that. In fact, you recommended Pixlr to me, and I use that today. So like for the ad for Facebook, like. You're such a great wealth of knowledge, but you're such a great gift to those human beings around you because you truly care and giving more than you take. I appreciate you being that as a person. I appreciate you now being part of EXP and giving your gift to agents throughout the world. And I'm looking forward to your growth and your success. And I'm looking forward to coming to your market and meeting your team and doing a lunch and learn or whatever, and really just dominate the market with you, man. By the way, that book that's behind you, 10X, I don't know if that's there for props or not, or if you like that.
No, it's a great book.
I
prefer the Audible.
My partner and I argue about that book all the time because I say, most people don't understand that book, and I think that book has to do with Exp Realty. So most people think that book means you have to work 10 times harder, right? You're 10xing and that's impossible. Like, Chris, can you work 10 times harder? I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. You're a fucking superhuman, right? But I don't even want to, right? But what I can do is figure out, like, if I want to have 10x the results, I can figure out who do I need to become and what systems and resources do I need to have to be able to get to that level. And when you start working with that mentality, that has to do with what you started this event about what's your exit strategy, right? If your exit strategy is to have a net worth 10 times more so you can retire, are you in the vehicle right now to be able to do that, right? And I think that book should have the forward written by somebody from Exp Realty because it speaks to us.
No, you're exactly right. And not just the exit strategy for you, right? I mean, we even talked about what you can leave to your loved ones, right? Your family, what you're leaving for a legacy. I mean, there's just so much with it that, there's just a ton. That's why, if anybody's interested, reach out. Talk, and if it's not to one of us, talk to somebody else that's in your market.
And if somebody wanted to reach out to you, how would they do that?
Well, they can text me, email me. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. You can Google me.
What's your website?
The website's NevadaRealEstateGroup.com.
Is that the best way to reach you, or do you want me to put a phone number up here?
Put a phone number up there. I don't care. 775 750
right
1700.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, me. I mean, we all use Commissions Inc. I love helping everybody out. So even if it's not about this, you want help in real estate, reach out to me. Even if you're happy where you're at and you want to just build your team bigger, give me a call. I have 2 guys. They just want to hang out with me here at the teams to see what we're doing. And they're not with EXP. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on in. I don't care. I'll open up the shop and let you take a look at what we're doing. So
good stuff. You're an awesome human being, Chris. Hey man, I know you haven't slept yet because you just got off a flight. So I'll let you go and catch some Z's, man. Always a pleasure. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Bye-bye.